Come on in, guys. How are you doing? Hey, people. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. How was your day? Today has been a really rainy day in Lagos. And so I was just scrolling through social media and I saw something that caught my interest, and I was like, come on. It's tea, and I'm going to talk about it. So, welcome back, guys, to my channel. It's me, your girl, Fosti Onye, and you're welcome back to this live stream with me. And today we are going to be talking about Gayle King, all the way to America. Yes, we have some juicy tea from there. And so I was looking through the media and I stumbled on this podcast with Alex Cooper. The podcast is called Call Her Daddy. And I think if you guys still find this topic very interesting, you can go look it up, just enjoy the whole gist, because I enjoyed it, and that's why I want to talk about it. So mainly my focus on that podcast that she sat with Gayle King was when Gayle King was reminiscing and also talking about how her life with her ex-husband was. So let's get this live stream started. Don't forget to give this a big thumbs up. Yeah, like the live stream. Put down your thoughts, your opinions, your comments in the comment section, and let's just keep it rolling, guys. So for those who don't know who Gayle King is one of the OGs when it comes to media. She was a news anchor, well, just like a big media personality. I think she's done a couple of things. I also enjoyed her interview when she interviewed R. Kelly some years back, and she's really done well for herself. Also, one thing that's great to note is that Gayle King is the best friend of Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, the media mogul. As in, you guys, if you don't know her, if you don't know who Oprah Winfrey is, then maybe you're living under a rock. So, Gayle King sat down with Alex Cooper, and they talked about a couple of things, and it was quite interesting what they talked about. But what really caught my attention was when she was talking about the affair her ex-husband had, and she told this story very, very crazy. As it was really a crazy story. So according to Gayle King, at that time, her husband, I think he was just done with Yale Law School, and apparently she said she encouraged him to go through that route, and he got his law degree. And by then she was already a big fish in the media industry, so it was as if she was here and the husband was and guys, most men can't deal with that. I don't know, they always say that they want a successful woman to date, they want to marry a successful woman, but not all of them can handle being with a successful woman, guys. So when they finally get that successful woman, then they want to bring her down to their level, and sometimes it may not really work out in their favor. So now Gayle King was talking about how she had encouraged her husband to go get his law degree and all that, and she was very, very successful at that time. And this friend that she said was a very close friend, she said if she wanted to write a book on how she knew that her ex was cheating on her, it would have started with the opening line of the comment her friend made when they were playing tennis or something. And the friend, when the ex-husband, who is William Bumpers, when he was hitting the ball, the friend made a comment like, nice shot, William, something like that. But according to Gayle, she said she felt some type of way with that comment, that for some reason that comment just felt off to her, and she was like wondering what that comment might mean. Now, she said that she doesn't, and she didn't even know that they were having this kind of affair. Apparently, she had gone to the airport, and for some reason, her flight was cancelled. So she now decided to come back to the house with her two children. And then, as at that time, her children were very little. I think she said 2 and 3 years old. So when they got to the house, she knocked on the door, and the husband came and answered the call, and he was saying something like, she can't get into the house. And she was like, what do you mean I can't get into the house? It was like, somebody is here. She said, no, nobody's here. And she just got into the house, and that was when she found this her close friend in her towel. Crazy story, guys. And she was like, what is happening here? Hi, Emmy Crafty. Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are just talking about something light, just gisting, talking about Gayle King and how she found out her ex was cheating on her. And so she found this her close friend with her man, and she was like, come on, what's happening here, and all that. And her friend was like, he doesn't really love you like that, and all. So it was really a crazy situation and crazy time in her life. So guys, I just want us to listen to a clip of how she puts it in her own words during the interview, and you can see that what guys, relationships are really hard, and it is because the people in that relationship make it hard. That is why it's so guys, let's have a quick listen at on how Gayle put it, and we'll come back, we'll talk more, we'll analyze. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Please guys, like it, as many of you that are watching. Please like this live stream, guys. Put down your thoughts in the comment section. Say hi to me, Emmy Crafty. Hi. So let's listen, guys.
To go in and be honest.
Yes.
I know Oprah had an opinion on your ex-husband.
Oh, Lord, yes, she did.
I want to talk a little bit more about that marriage.
Yes.
I know, because you just mentioned infidelity was one of the major reasons that it ended.
Yeah.
And I want to get to that. But first, before the affair, how were you feeling about that relationship? Like, were you happy?
It's a good question. I was happy. And you know how they say the wife always knows? I swear to God, I did not. I did not. And people say, well, of course you know. No, I really didn't. Now, it's not like we hadn't had arguments or anything, but I didn't think that it was in such disrepair that he was boinking around. I did not think that.
When, if you were happy, do you think it shifted for you?
Well, I mean, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. I always say if I was writing a book, the first line in my book would be whack, the sound of a tennis ball. And she said, nice shot, Bill. And the way she said it, there was such a intimacy in her voice that I had the hair stood up on the back of my neck, and I thought, why am I feeling that way? It was weird. Why am I? Because she was married too. We were married. We both had 2 little kids, so our kids were friends. The spouses were friends. But there was something about the way she said, nice shot, Bill, that I looked, and I thought, did I see them looking at each other? And when I asked him in the car, what are you talking about? They try to gaslight you, by the way. What are you talking about? And so he goes, absolutely not. So I did think, oh, you're just overreacting to what? But I did have a visceral reaction to that. That said, I still didn't think anything. And Oprah always says, you know, sometimes you get a whisper, and then when you ignore the whisper, then it becomes a little pebble. Hi. And then you ignore the pebble, and next thing you know,
guys.
it keeps going, and then you have a full-blown catastrophe. Mine was I came home and caught him unexpected. I wasn't due home. So, but you know, people say, the therapist said, it probably had to be that extreme for you to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you had caught them and they weren't buck naked, Alex, in my friggin' towel, if you hadn't seen it, he might have said, oh, she was just over here. We were
working on something.
Yes, working on something.
Okay, wait. Can you take me to that day? Like, how did you walk in on
Well,
that?
this was back in the day when you would go. I used to drive myself to the airport then, Alex.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Miss Gayle King.
Before Uber and Lyft and when you call it a car service. But I drove myself to the airport, and the airline would call you to say, listen, your flight has been canceled, but you can if you get on the next one, you can get out of there. So I was in DC, and Kirby and Will were little. They were like 2 and 3 at the time. So I said, guys, we got to hurry, go. I'd driven myself to the airport, so I didn't even have time to call and say, look, the flight was da 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 da. I'm coming home. I didn't have time to do any of that. We jumped in, got to the airport, got in the car, came home, and the alarm was set, which I thought, that's strange, because you're in here by yourself. You're a big ass grown ass man. He never sets the alarm. And next thing I know, he comes flying out of the room, and he's got a towel on. He goes, you can't come in. What do you mean you can't? I can't come in. What are you talking about? He goes, you can't come here. Come in. Someone's here. I go, someone like who? There's nobody here. I mean, I was so oblivious. There's nobody here. Get out of the way, Billy. There's nobody here. He goes, really, you can't come in. And so I start searching the house because I didn't believe him. I didn't believe him. I get down, and there they are, or there she is, cowering behind the door. In my towel, Alex, was a nice bath sheet. In my towel.
What did you say?
I said, I can't believe that you are here and that you are doing this. I can't believe that you are doing this.
She was your friend.
Yes. And I even said, I thought we were friends. It sounded so pitiful. I thought we were friends.
And so your kids were in the house. How did you manage?
Well, I had a nanny. She was from Jamaica. And I...
Guys, you get the gist now. The level of betrayal. As in, most people can't really handle that kind of betrayal, guys. Most people can. Just thinking about it, somebody you call your close friend, probably you guys, you have play dates and all that, and you might have told her a lot about yourself concerning maybe your relationship or your marriage and all that, and you find out in that kind of way that she is backstabbing you. Guys, it's really, really crazy. I had a situation like that, but it's not as if I caught my ex outrightly, but it was through the phone. And even at that, I was still hurt because of that situation. So coming out to find out a woman, this is your friend and all that, and you find her in your own matrimonial home with your husband in your tower. Guys, it's not a really funny situation. It's a situation that is very, very sad. And I'm really happy that at least time has healed the wound for Gayle King, and she could be able to talk about it, sometimes even laughing on the podcast. But it goes to show that some men are really not faithful when it comes to handling issues in their marriage. Okay, this is somebody that's she had, in her own way, according to what she said, supported her husband to, build a family and all that. And for him to just betray her that way. According to her, she even tried to work on the relationship after that. But still, he was still, cheating and doing all that. And it eventually led to their divorce. So it's something that some women have gone through, and sometimes it even broke them to pieces. Yeah, exactly. It broke them to pieces. But I'm happy that it's not Gayle King's, own side of the story now. She is able to talk about it with a smile on her face, and time has healed that wound. But what I want to talk about is in terms of relationships and marriages. The point I'm trying to make here is that most men who have low self-esteem or who are competing with their wives, they kind of do this kind of thing. It's like cheating on her gives them some sort of boost to their ego or whatnot. I don't really know, but it comes at a price, and that price could be that the marriage will be severed. In the case of Gayle King, her marriage to William was, ir- irreparable, and it led to them co-parenting to raise their kids together. So, and Gayle King's ex-husband, he has responded, and it was quite the honorable thing to do, guys, because the way he responded, it showed that at least He had thought about how he went wrong in that situation, and he had come to find out that he was not perfect and he didn't do a good thing, because he was not blaming anybody. He was not acting all prideful. His response showed some kind of remorse, and I just want to take a quick read on it. So he responded on TMZ, and he said, "My deepest apologies to Gayle, to our daughter Kirby and her husband Virgil, to our son William and his wife Elise, and to our 3 grandchildren for the pain I caused decades ago. These actions were mine." And that is acknowledgement. So he has acknowledged that he did wrong in that situation, and it's like a point to his favor, guys. So continuing, he said, "I have long owned them, including publicly in my own words in 2016, which still stands. Gayle has every right to share what was a painful chapter that changed the trajectory of our marriage and our family nearly 40 years ago. I respect her right to tell her story, and that's where I leave it." So for Jeffrey Martinez, that was asking me on this live stream, that and your point is, we are just chatting here, you understand? We are just talking about a podcast that I listened to, and I thought that maybe it's something that we can learn a thing or two from. Accountability. William Bumpers had, realized this mistake and is taking accountability for it. You understand? So I don't really need to have any point. I'm just talking about what I feel is necessary for us to talk about, or needful for us to talk about. So he kept on saying, okay, I'll continue to read. "What I will say is this: I remain endlessly grateful to Gayle. She gave me two of the greatest gifts of my life, our daughter Kirby and our son William. It was Gayle who encouraged and supported me through getting my Yale Law degree. And it was Gayle who chose with me to co-parent successfully from the very beginning. A testament to our shared commitment to our children above all else, and now our grandchildren. The love and camaraderie we forged in that worked have carried us all these years. Nearly 40 decades later, that commitment has only deepened, and Gayle and I remain in a good place." She recently sent warm wishes to Poet, my teenage daughter, on her 16th birthday, which meant a great deal to both of us. As a private person by nature, I will admit that during our marriage, I did not fully appreciate Gayle's public life. I wanted ours to be more private, and that was something I wrestled with, and no reflection on her true talent and abilities. I am proud to have had a front row seat to Gayle's remarkable success, and I remain a genuine admirer and fan. I continue to work at being the best version of myself, grounded by the friendship, encouragement, and support of Gayle over the years, by the love of our grown children and our grandchildren, and by the daily privilege of raising Poet as a single father. That is where my focus remains, on family, on my clients, and the work ahead. So apparently, we can say that William Bumpers has learned from his mistakes, and it's nice that at least he was able to take accountability and responsibility for his actions that led to the breakdown of that marriage. But in essence, what I want to talk about is that most times marriage fails because of the partners wanting different things in life. According to William's story here now, he was talking about that he wanted a more private life, but his wife was already a public figure. And that's what really surprises me, because sometimes these men, they know what they want. Why don't they go for what they want at that initial stage? That's my question. Because at that initial stage, when they see you all shiny, successful in your career and all that, it attracts them. They feel as if that is exactly what they want. But once they get into that space with you, that relationship with you, that marriage with you, then that thing that initially attracts them to you, it becomes something that they now resent. Maybe because they are competing with you, or maybe because of what, I don't really know. So marriages need, more time and commitment for it to work, whereby you as a husband or a wife are competing with each other instead of, competing against the world together. That's competitiveness, which may not even be favorable to both of you, can cause the breakdown of the marriage. So guys, what do you think about this story? Apparently it's happened a long time ago, but because of this podcast that Gayle sat down to talk with Alice Cooper recently, she kind of talked about it, and uh, now it's now a topic for discussion all over. So what do you think about the story? Put down your thoughts in the comment section. So, Amy Martinez, I hope now you get my point. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Daniel. You're welcome to my channel. Guys, I'm taking a look at uh, I'm taking a look at my notes to see if I've touched on most of what I wanted to talk about, and I think I've done basically justice to that. So if we wish them well, as they have decided to move past it. Now their children are grown already, even they're talking about grandchildren. So we just wish them well in each of their endeavors and all that. So guys, put down your thoughts in the comment section of this live stream. It's just something that I just decided, let's just talk about something fun today, something, interesting. And that's it for this video. Thank you for coming to my live. Thank you, Amy Krati. Thank you, Jeffrey Martinez. Thank you, Daniel Melango. Daniel, thank you so much. I appreciate. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah, hi, 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 hi. All right. We'll call it a day till I see you in another live stream. Guys, take care of yourself, love yourself, and bye bye. Have a wonderful day, guys. Hi, guys.